give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some over greater desire.
Income.
Will, I want you to talk. Don't be scared now. No Diddy, huh? You scared now, huh? I know y'all on them tapes. Freaky. I know you is. 10 churn have. It's time to show them churns now. I ain't gonna let off of you.
I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid, and next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So,
oh, it's on. Terrence Howard just lit a fire under the whole damn industry, and baby, it's not just Diddy catching the heat. He's coming for the entire empire, and he's doing it with zero chill. Terrence has been watching the fake friendships, the fake loyalty, the fake silence, and now he's pulling receipts. If a few celebrities get scorched in the process, so be it. They should have known better, let's be real. Ever since Diddy's name started trending for all the wrong reasons, a bunch of stars have been acting brand new, pretending like they barely know him. But Terrence? Oh no, he ain't letting that slide. He sees the game, and now he's calling it all out. And get this, he's not just throwing vague shade, he's naming names. He's dragging people out of their hidden corners and into the spotlight. First name, Cuba Gooding Jr., y'all. And honestly, that one didn't shock too many. If you've been following the LaRod lawsuit, you already know Cuba's name came up, and not just as a guest at Diddy's parties. No, sir. Cuba was deep in the mix. LaRod didn't mince words. He straight up claimed Cuba was living at those parties, showing up like he was royalty. TMZ even reported that Diddy himself introduced Cuba to Jones on a yacht. And y'all, that's when things allegedly went dark. According to the lawsuit, Cuba wasn't just shaking hands and sipping cocktails. He was allegedly groping Little Rod, touching his thighs, back, and shoulders like he owned the man. Rod even pulled out a picture of Cuba getting all handsy, and the energy, unholy. It gave major creeper vibes, and we all know birds of a feather. But let's not act like this came out of nowhere. Cuba's got a long list of mess behind him. His wife Sarah filed for separation back in 2014, and word on the street was that she just couldn't take the cheating anymore. After she dipped, Cuba spiraled. Over 30 women have come forward with accusations since. One woman described him walking into a bar like he was the king of chaos, harassing women left and right, grabbing butts during photos, and whispering creepy lines like, "I love you" to strangers. There's video proof, it's not just rumors, it's on camera. Another woman says he assaulted her in 2013 after inviting her for a harmless drink, then leading her to his hotel room and turning the night into a nightmare. In 2019, it all caught up with him. Arrest, cameras, chaos. And now he's back in the headlines again, this time courtesy of Terrence Howard. And just when we thought it couldn't get wilder, Terrence drops another bombshell.
Income.
Naomi freaking Campbell. Now that one, whew, not even a raised eyebrow. Naomi's name has been dancing around chaos for years. Calling her controversial is like calling lava kind of warm. We're talking about the same woman who got tied up in charity theft rumors, warlords, and blood diamonds. You bet, Naomi. Let's rewind to the Diddy connection. Naomi wasn't just invited to the parties. Allegedly, she was a regular. She's always been linked to shady men, and now this just feels like one more chapter in her never-ending mess. Y'all remember when she got caught up with Liberian war criminal Charles Taylor, testifying to his war crimes trial because he allegedly gave her blood diamonds? She switched her story more than a reality show contestant, first claiming some random dudes gave her dirty-looking stones in the middle of the night, then suggesting maybe they were from Taylor. The lies were lying, and the whole thing smelled like cover-up.
You received a diamond from
I
Charles.
didn't receive a diamond, and I'm not going to speak about that. Thank you very much.
Charles Taylor ended up with 50 years in prison. Naomi walked away like nothing happened. But Taylor wasn't the only sketchy figure in her past. She was also linked to Harvey Weinstein. And yes, we all know how that turned out. He's the poster boy for Hollywood predators. Her ties to him added a new layer of shade to her already murky legacy. But wait, it gets worse. Naomi's name has been all over documents from the Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell trials. According to court records, she took multiple trips on Epstein's infamous jet, the one that flew people to that island. Yeah, the one linked to disturbing activities no one wants to talk about. And like clockwork, the second Epstein got arrested, Naomi pulled her classic move, distance and delete. Suddenly, she barely knew him, claimed they only met because of her boyfriend at the time and that she just saw him at Victoria's Secret shows like it was no big deal. Girl, please. So when her name pops up in Diddy's scandal, of course it does. Naomi and Diddy were tight for years, not casual friends. Tight. We're talking rumored romance back in the early 2000s. And just like she did with Epstein, Naomi went into damage control real fast. Cleaned up her Instagram, wiped out any traces of Diddy like nobody remembers those red carpet pics and yacht snaps. She even acted like she wasn't there during the Cassie days when word was she allegedly witnessed Diddy mistreat Cassie and didn't say a word. Now, here's where the gossip turns deadly serious. Terrence is saying Naomi wasn't just at the parties, she was participating, allegedly bringing in young girls for Diddy. Let that sink in. And this ain't even the first time someone's made that kind of claim. British actress Katie Noble once publicly accused both Oprah and Naomi of helping Harvey Weinstein lure her into one of his twisted setups that ended in assault. At this point, it's not tea anymore, it's pure horror.
In which I admired dearly. He was with Naomi Campbell, he had Oprah Winfrey there with him, who entered the room and was swinging off his arm and just seemed like a very dear friend.
Terrence wasn't done, not even close. Next up on his list, Mary J. Blige. Yes, the queen of hip-hop soul. And this one caught everyone off guard. At first, people were like, no way, Mary? But when you remember just how deep her bond with Diddy goes, it actually tracks. They go way back to the early 90s when Diddy helped launch her debut album, What's the 411? Since then, they've been close. Diddy's even called her his sister, praising her as a pioneer for women and one of the greatest storytellers in R&B. Publicly, nothing but love. But behind the scenes, it got rocky. In the late 90s and early 2000s, their friendship imploded. The feud went on for years. Eventually, Mary admitted that her own emotional and mental state played a big role in their fallout. They patched things up, but not for long. Because once Diddy's house of cards started collapsing, Mary was out. She made it loud and clear she'd cut him off long ago, and she wasn't looking back. She even posted a cryptic Instagram quote that sent fans spiraling. Unfortunately, a lot of you met me when I lacked boundaries and was a people pleaser. Let me reintroduce myself. I burn bridges as needed. And when it comes to Diddy, that bridge was ashes. But now comes the real twist. According to Terrence, Mary wasn't just a bystander at Diddy's infamous freak-offs, she was allegedly involved. Not just showing up, getting hands-on, reportedly with younger men. Again, Mary was an adult, but the optics? Not great. And then there's her past with R&B singer Danny Boy. He recently dropped a bombshell revealing that he was just 16 when he and Mary were involved, and she was 24. He says it wasn't some one-time hookup either, it was a full-on affair. She even flew him out to New York for secret meetups.
And she laying on the couch, and I'm sitting on the other end, and she laid down on the couch and put her head in my lap. I'm like, damn. He can't be talking about Mary, was talking about she wanted me to come back up here, now she on my lap. And I'm sitting there and I'm wondering, I'm like, okay, what is this?
Danny said she convinced him they were really together, like actual boyfriend status, even while she was rumored to be with Tupac around the same time.
I had an opportunity to go out to New York and visit her a couple more times. But you know, that's why I was kind of confused when I heard Kurt saying that Mary was pot girl. Because at that time, she was my girl. At that time, I'm 15, 16 years old, and she flying me in to see her. And you know what it is when a girl back up on you, you young, and I'm trying to show her that she.
And yet again, Mary was allegedly partying it up at Diddy's events until things started crumbling. That's when she bailed, wiped her hands clean like she'd never been part of the chaos. But it's the last name Terrence dropped that left everyone speechless. Rick Ross. Yes, Rick freaking Ross. Nobody saw this one coming, but Terrence says his name came up through one of Diddy's own insiders, someone questioned by police last year. The man claimed Ross and Diddy weren't just friends, they were romantically involved. Usually when Diddy gossip flies, Rick's name is nowhere near it, but not this time. Especially not when Ross's own baby mama, Tia Kemp, has been saying for years that Ross had a secret thing with Diddy and people just laughed her off. She's known for dragging Rick on social media, so nobody took it seriously. Until now. Last year, she dropped the most savage line of all, saying Rick was getting his cheeks clapped by Diddy in plain sight.
I want you to talk. Don't be scared now. No Diddy, huh? You scared now, huh? I know y'all on them tapes. Freaky. I know you is. 10 churn have. It's time to show them churns now. I ain't gonna let off here. Nobody wanna see it. Nobody don't care to see the Jets no more. You running out of hoes now. Go over there and get Diddy a hug. Go ride the bike with him.
And with that, Terrence basically asked the question we're all thinking. Who hasn't been tangled up with Diddy at this point? This web of fame, secrecy, and scandal runs deep. And if even half of what Terrence just revealed turns out to be true, Diddy's not just going down, he's taking a whole chunk of Hollywood with him. So now, the question isn't if Diddy's empire is crumbling, it's who's going down with him. Terrence Howard didn't just spill tea, he poured gasoline on the industry's darkest secrets. And the celebs he named? They're scrambling. Cuba, Naomi, Mary J. Blige, Rick Ross, all once untouchable, now exposed. Because when the lights go out and the feds come knocking, nobody wants to be the one still standing next to Diddy. And Terrence, he's just getting started.